This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day, and that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk, because I don't even know if I could really call her a musician and stuff. I mean, she does make music, but that's the thing though. I feel like she's not making enough music. And no, actually I wanted to talk on I'm gonna call her an internet personality, because that's, I feel like, who she is. But Azealia Banks. So for those that don't know who Azealia Banks is a internet personality that, overall she just gets caught up. Let me turn my TV off real quick, because it's distracting me and stuff. It's funny because I had Wild 'N Out on, and they wasn't even showing that episode of Azealia Banks, but it was like thinking of her and then some recent things that she was caught up in. I was like, you know what? Feel like it's been a moment since I've talked on Azealia Banks. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk on her real quick. So, for those that don't know who she is a musician. I think that's overall how she got discovered. But it later on transpired into her beefing with any and everybody on the internet. And that's when I very first had started hearing about her, because I think it was around the time when Iggy Azalea was, popping off and things. So I ain't gonna necessarily say that Azealia Banks blew up around the same time as Iggy Azalea. I think Azealia Banks, she might have actually been doing it longer than Iggy Azalea. So I know people may be thinking wait a minute, who is who? Okay, who is who? Because even no, I know people that will get them two confused with each other. Iggy Azalea is that's the musician. That's the one that's she got a kid with Playboy Cardi, the Australian girl. She is white. And Azealia Banks, she is black. It's there ain't no similarities more so physically, but with names, I guess I can, cause but it's spelled different ways though. So I guess if you spell Azealia how Iggy Azalea is spelled, and then you put Banks after it, then it'll autocorrect to the correct version and stuff. So yeah, it is spelled differently, but it is kind of said somewhat the same. But anyways, getting back on Azealia Banks. So, I remember when I started hearing about Azealia Banks, she was just going at it with people, I think, on Twitter and stuff. And I think this is at the time when she did have a Twitter account, but then it got to a point where it was she couldn't talk on Twitter no more. So I think she started going to Instagram. And I think at some point, Instagram, she's banned on there too. Let me look it up real quick. Azealia Banks. I know I misspelled her name, but I don't think. Oh, is she on? Nah, she's not on. Well, she is still on Instagram. Okay, so that is one, but she is suspended on Twitter, and yeah, Twitter. So she still has a Instagram account. I just always assumed she got banned from it all. She wasn't allowed to go on any platforms and stuff, but. Anyways, so I guess she went and transitioned over to onto Instagram and just posted what she needed to post on there. And then I think it was when I wouldn't necessarily say that's when she got her big break, but I feel like that's when maybe a few more people got to know who she was, because I feel like a lot of people already knew who she was and stuff. But I feel like that she really got put on a big platform was when she was on Nick Cannon's show Wild 'N Out. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that was when she did get her big break. Let me check. Hold on. I'm going on Wikipedia. I mean, Wikipedia ain't really something reliable and things, but yeah, they're not really saying. They're saying how she was just overall working on music from 2011 to 2012, 2013, 2016, and how she got like some upcoming projects and from 2017 all the way up until now. But they got like it's her area where her controversies and stuff. But so there's like, dang. So on a racist and homophobic rant about Zayn Malik, I don't, hey, however that man's name is pronounced. But anyways, so I think that's when people really started paying attention to her. But I think she was already popping off before 2016. Because I'm trying to think, like, I think there's if we probably dig deep enough, I think we could find some things prior before 2016. I don't know. Maybe if it was then I'm like, dang, it doesn't even seem like it had been that long ago. But because 2016 seems like it's so recent compared to how long I feel like I've known Azealia, or not have known her, but just overall like how long I've seen her on social media and stuff. So yeah, I guess that honestly though, but that if it was that, then that's probably when I had found out about her. I probably thought they was all like, wait, I probably thought they were talking about Iggy Azalea, and then clicked on her and was like, oh, they talking about a whole completely different person and stuff. So, but anyways, so how I had started, how I found out about her was when or not how I found out about her, but I feel like when she got on a bigger platform was when she was on Nick Cannon's show Wild and Out. Now, to explain to those that have never watched Wild and Out, what is Wild and Out? What is that show? Wild and Out is it's a comedy show, all right? It's it just kind of gives, well, it doesn't even not so much as gives a chance, but it just overall, like, it's just comedians displaying their comedy. So in a way, it's kind of like stand-up comedy, but they're up there playing games and stuff, and it's a fun show. Like, I tried out for that show. To kind of just talk on that real quick, I tried out for that show. I remember Vine, MTV2 was holding a challenge on there, and they was like, if you could crack a good joke on Nick Cannon, it'll be like submitted and stuff. And so I remember I cracked the joke. I can't remember what the joke was. I think I had to like go through my Vine account or something and find the video. But if I could go there, there might be a way of like going and finding, like, no, they do have like an archive thing. Yeah, you guys can very well search it up. I think everybody knows what name I was going by on Vine. I go by that name on every other platform and stuff. It's literally in the name of my podcast. But anyways, so I tried out. They declined because I was wearing a Seahawks hat, and they was all like, if you wasn't wearing a branded hat and things like overall like Seahawks or whatever, then they could have been submitted better. But yeah, it was just pretty much like I couldn't overall like get into that thing because of that. And I'm like, man, Seahawks, I'm like the one time when it like, fam, like, man, Seahawks, I got beef with y'all because I could have been on Wild and Out. I could have been getting paid. I could have been doing some things, and Seahawks ruined this. So I think I should tell a story about that. They're like, Seahawks ruined my Wild and Out career and stuff. But anyways, moving on. So. So Azealia Banks goes on that show. She goes on this show, and so that's the thing. Like on Wild and Out, they are cracking jokes. It's not like what I guess what she thought it was, because Nick Cannon. So for those that don't know who Nick Cannon is, Nick Cannon I believe he got his fame from being on Nickelodeon. So he had like some shows on there. We got famous off of that. And then overall, like, he transitioned into doing more of an adult comedy type stuff. So that's what Wild and Out is. It's more so considered like an adult comedy show. But I mean, I was watching that show when I was a kid, but like overall, like it's more so like they have kids on. They've had kids on there too. So, but anyways, but it's not a Nickelodeon show. Azealia Banks thought that it was gonna be something like that, like, oh, it's for the kids. It's a kiddie show. It's a kitty show. It's a cartoon or whatever. It's we're up here cracking kid jokes and things, dad jokes. We're up here having quotations, unquotations fun, all right? So, but it wasn't. That's not the case. That's not what Wild 'N Out is. But my thing is this though. Azealia Banks should have looked at the scenery. When you got dudes there that's looking like DC Young Fly, when you got dudes there that's looking like Conceited, Hitman Holla, what other guys they have up there? I'm saying Justina, Carlos Miller, Chico Bean. They got all these different characters on this show and stuff. All these different people, and you thinking it's some Nickelodeon show? And then not even that. Let's say she didn't see the cast members. You can very well look at the crowd and can tell this ain't gonna be no kid show, alright? So anyways, she, so gets on the show. They all start cracking jokes and all that stuff. And then, DC Young Fly. Now, if you guys don't know who he is, look that man up. That is one man that I would not want to get in a roasting battle with. Like, because that's the thing. Like, if I was on that show, Wild 'N Out, I would probably be up in the middle of the night thinking of jokes that I can say to them guys. But DC Young Fly, he is like the Mike Tyson of that show. He is like, or the Muhammad Ali, but he is somebody of high powers on that show. If you get into a roasting battle with him, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good at all. I'm like, nah, bro. It's like, it's stuff like that where it's like, if I were to be on that show, I want him on my team, or I want to be on his team, but I refuse to go up against that man. I'm like, I want it down in a written out contract, okay? Handwritten and pen, because pencil, you know, that stuff, it disappears after a while. I want it written down in pen that from however long this show lasts, and for however long I'm on this show, and for however long he is on that show, I want to be on his team. Okay, but no, there are other comedians on there. They got some heavy hitters on there and stuff. But DC Young Fly, he's like one guy you don't want no troubles with him and stuff. So, but anyways, so DC Young Fly, he had cracked a joke on her, but so if you like hear how he talks, he has like a distinctive way of how he talks and things. It ain't like he has like an accent, but it's just like his word choice and stuff, which is something that I understand. I guess like as you progress in life, and then you progress around black people, and you progress around different groups and categories of black people, you tend to hear the differences on how black people talk. You know, so DC Young Fly, because I think he's from Atlanta, and I think that's how a lot of people out in Atlanta talk. If not, then I'm like, fam, then it overall came from somewhere. DC Young Fly isn't like the first one to talk like on how he talks. There are other people out there in this world that talks like that. I went to school with people that talk like him and stuff. So anyways, DC Young Fly, he cracks a joke on her and said, he was all like, or no, so that's all right. So that's what the whole segment was. So they got like this game on there called So Fly. So pretty much like what you have to say is like Nick Cannon, So Fly. He's starting a whole army of kids and ain't nobody can do nothing about. Like, so it's like some like jokes like that and things, but it's like, or it's whatever. And so, I think it was that. He was all like, or it was some joke. But anyways, DC Young Fly, so he goes and cracks a joke on Azealia Banks, and he was just all like, we wanted Cardi B, but we got Azealia Banks, oh, ugly ASS. I ain't gonna say, because kids can be listening and stuff. So anyways, I guess Azealia Banks, she took offense to that, and overall was, she was overall upset over the fact that it was like that he said that. He called her ugly. But it's like, fam, he says that to everybody. He calls everybody ugly. It ain't just you. It's like that. He ain't said it to Nick Cannon. He ain't said it to the Wild 'N Out girls. He ain't said it to kids. He ain't said that to everybody. But like if you know who he is, like I've been following DC Young Fly since the Vine days. So like that's why I'm like, fam, like you have to, I guess, like, know who he is to understand him and stuff. So, anyways, Azealia Banks grabs the microphone. She's, going off, I guess. Like, she's trying to go off on DC Young Fly. And he's not trying to, intervene. Or he's not trying to, respond to her. He's just like, I'm going to just leave it alone because I could tell she's offended and stuff. So, And I'm like, that's the funny thing about it, is how you can tell when people are offended. I even seen, like, let's say if that would have been my first time watching it, you can just tell by how she's acting and how she was talking that she was offended. I'm like, fam, I've done that to people. I've gotten people to that point where they are upset and their goal is to get me upset. And I'm like, fam, it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna do what he eventually did. So she was cracking more jokes on him, and then eventually it got to a point where DC Young Fly was all like, oh, like, no, it wasn't, I don't think it was So Fly, I think it was another like thing that they got, or no, they was like, so I think it was all like So Salty or something like that. It was some game that they were playing. Y'all just gonna have to watch it because it is posted on YouTube, so you could very well watch it for yourself. But anyways, so he goes on to say, DC Young Fly goes on to say, it was like, oh, the dentist, you went to the dentist and told them just take out the top braces and leave the bottoms and then start doing this face. And so they don't show it in the YouTube video, but I guess like with everybody else that was there, like you could hear everybody's story. You could even hear it from DC Young Fly himself. But I guess after that, she just broke down in tears and started crying. Like, she could not handle, like, bro only said 2 jokes to her. That's the crazy thing about it. He threw a 1-2 combo and she was out. So anyways, I guess from what other people had said, she broke down in tears, started crying. Then it got to a point where they had to like hold the show for like, I think there was like an hour and a half. I don't know if it was half an hour or an hour and a half. I think it was an hour and a half. And they had to hold that show. And I'm like, bruh, do you know how upsetting that would be? Where it's like, fam, like, what, dude, like, why would you should have watched the show before you came here and stuff. Like, that's how I'm like, I could tell that she don't really be, like, doing a whole lot of normal things, like, because it gets far crazier than that, like, with some of this stuff. I think I did talk on one thing that she did, and I think I have talked on Azealia Banks before on my podcast, but I'm like, no, she done did some wild stuff before, or afterwards and stuff. So anyways, so they end up going back on with the show. She overall agrees to, continue on with the show and things. I think she was still trying to, like, crack jokes or say stuff, but it was just like, you know what, no, we ain't even gonna fool with you because you done got all offended and stuff, so we ain't even gonna cross that bridge and things. So anyways, so after that, I guess she was still salty and upset over the fact of what had happened on Wild and Out, and she started cracking, like, going off on Nick Cannon and stuff, and it's like, fam, he invited you on the show to have fun. Don't take your anger out on Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon ain't even do nothing to you. So, like, that's why I'm confused by it. Because I'm like, fam, like, even if it is, like, you're mad at him or mad at DC Young Fly or mad at the show, whatever it is, it's like, fam, you should have overall had watched the show prior before getting on there. Because it's like, well, like, you obviously didn't know what that show was about, okay? So we just gonna establish that right here and now. You did not know what that show is about. So anyway, she starts going off on Nick Cannon, and I think she cracked some joke on him about, like, his I think he had kidney failure at some point in time, and I would imagine, like, Nick Cannon, he's probably used to people cracking jokes on him. But there was even a time where somebody did crack a joke on his kidneys on the show to his face. And he seemed like he was laughing about it, but I don't think that comedian was, I think after that season, I don't think he was on there anymore. I don't know whatever happened about that, but I just feel like that, you don't really hear none of the other comedians talking on, like, his kidneys and stuff. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's stuff like that where it's like, nah, I'm pretty sure that there's some things where he's like, okay, you can talk on this, and this. Like, and that's the thing where it's like, I think they do that with everybody on that show where it's like, you can talk on this, and this, just don't talk on this, and this. Moving on, okay? So, anyways, but I guess, yeah, she didn't get all that. She probably was just like, oh, no, like, we're here to have fun. Let's do whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, that's how that went. So, anyways, so, yeah, after that, of course, she's just getting into it more with people. And the one time, and I have to say, that was it. That was, like, the final straw where I was like, this girl is toxic. Out of all of the people she could have gotten into it with, she gets into it with the singer Lana Del Rey. Now, I've listened to Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey, she seems like she's one of the most chillest people out there, but she got into it with her. And I'm like, fam, no. Azealia Banks, that woman is toxic. I'm like, no, she got some things going on in her world where it's like, you do not need to be interact with people that are just like you, but don't interact with people that are nothing like you and you out here beefing with them. And it's like, fam, what did they do to you? And I'm like, they've done nothing and stuff. So anyways, so yeah, she gets into it with Lana Del Rey, and at that point I was like, there ain't no hope for this girl. That's all she does. And that's what, like, a lot of people seem to just think, like, with people like her, they're only doing that to promote. Because at some point in time, when you hear that she's a musician, what are you going to do? Oh, well, let me go and listen and see if her music is good. I listen to her music. I ain't gonna say that it's bad, but I ain't gonna say that it's the best music that I ever heard. I'm like, I'm gonna just say that it's music, okay? It's what she wants to do. As long as she likes it, that's all that matters, alright? So anyways, now fast forward some time after the Lana Del Rey situation, and I have to say this is probably the craziest thing I've ever heard from anybody. So Azealia Banks, I'm seeing that she's trending on social media, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me overall see why she's trending. Let me see what's going on and stuff. So I see why she's trending, and I'm trying to like reread it, and overall like, okay, maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe I'm just seeing this whole thing all wrong. All right, but I wasn't. There is a video. You can see it. Or at least parts of it, okay? She had a cat, and the cat had died, so she had buried the cat. And then at some point in time, she dug up the dirt. She retrieved the cat's, pretty much body and things, and she cooked it. She put it in the pot, and she cooked it. Now, I guess that is like, there's some voodoo stuff behind that makes sense. But to your average person, you're going to look at that and be like, that is not normal at all. She posted the video, and you can see like bones in the water, in the pot. And it's like, fam, why? Like, honestly, why? For what reason? I think I did record like my reaction at that initial moment when it had happened. But I'm like, fam, for what reason did you have to do that? Like, it trips me out, like, when they try to come up with an excuse on why they just did some questionable, weird stuff. But I'm like, fam, that's not normal. Digging up cats and having them up in pots and stuff, that's not normal. That is far from normal. That is the weirdest thing possible, bruh. I'm like, I don't know what's up with that, but I'm like, that, my friend, is not normal, okay? So anyways, so she was facing a lot of controversy over that. I had to say that's probably the wildest thing that she's done. But recently she was in the news. Not too long ago, some days ago, she was recently in the news for going up on stage late, all right, I guess like after, she set up her performance and all that stuff, or she was supposed to be performing. She shows up to the performance late. She has no upper part covering her chest area, so her chest all exposed, fam, all of it, all out there, exposed. And I think they said, I don't even know if she performed any music, but she left. And I'm like, fam, why do you keep setting yourself up for failure? Like, I don't get, like, why do you keep putting yourself in a situation where you're attracting all of this negative attention, okay? Because it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for your career. I think at some point in time, this is what I honestly think. I think at some point in time, it's going to get to a point where she gets herself in some stuff and there ain't no coming back. And she's going to be just all like, she's going to be so confused on how can I get out of this situation? And it's like, fam, you can't. Like, you have to take some sort of responsibility in this and whatever that situation will be. And you're going to have to apologize for some stuff. But I'm saying, like, and I guess from when I went on Wikipedia, it looked like she was even doing some more things. So there's all like, in April 2020, Banks posted on an Instagram story repeatedly chastising Ukraine. Wait, what is chastising? Chastise? Rebuke or punish, especially by beating General crucially chastise them with a whip, chastise his colleagues for their laziness, rebuke or, so you're like going off on them and things. So cause I don't be using that word. So like going off. So she went off on Ukraine in the 2022 Russian invasion of the country. She claimed she wait, what are these big words, bro? I gotta sound this one out. Unsubstantiated, what? Not supporting or proven by evidence. So she claimed she's not supporting that Ukraine's president, the guy, denied the ability of African exchange students to leave the country. She also claimed without evidence that Ukraine was using their embassed in whatever that word is. I'm even gonna search that word up to see what it is. In African countries to recruit mercenaries to fight in Ukraine. Banks stated that the Ukrainian president was trying to provoke a global nuclear war and urge Ukraine to surrender. In a previous Instagram story from April 1st, she had praised Russian President Vladimir Putin, calling him her favorite supervillain ever. She is weird, bro. She is really weird. Like, there's should never be a person that's, like, you're that weird, fam. Like, I'm serious. Like, no, she has some stuff going on with her. I don't know what, but it's like you definitely got some things going on with you. Where it's like you're praising this man and you're showing love to this man, and he literally attacked the country because he wanted to take over. I don't get that. I don't get that. So, anyways, and that being said, yeah, I hope that girl receives some help one day. Overall, that's why I'm doing this episode. I hope Azealia Banks receives some help one day because, fam, you're weird, okay? So, anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And then that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.